Welcome back to the Yummy Socials podcast. Today we're talking all about how to grow your restaurant with social media strategy. Here we go. That's right, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Yummy Socials podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Tringale. Today we're talking all about how to grow your restaurant's business with a social media strategy. What is social media strategy? Well, let me start by saying, I've been doing this now for 10 years, working 95% of those 10 years with restaurants only and creating my own social media following with my Eat Local New York brand and business. And so what I'm going to talk about today is not necessarily criticizing other restaurants that I've seen from their social media. It's criticizing myself. It's looking at my own strategy and saying, here's what needs to change. Now, let me talk about how I came up with this idea and what brought it about. I've talked about in previous episodes and on social media for Yummy Socials how back in September, the algorithms, I'm going to blame the algorithms, but I'm just going to say back in September, views on Instagram and TikTok specifically started to tank. It had gone from being able to post and get 10,000 views, let's say, on an Instagram reel guaranteed, to now all of a sudden getting, 4, 5, 6,000 if I was lucky. Sometimes it was even less than that. And I had no idea why. So I decided to, back in early September, take time and I slowed down posting, which I don't typically recommend, but I slowed down posting. And I just dove headfirst into any and all education-based videos that I could find. YouTube channels, other content creators talking about this, TikTok videos, Instagram videos, you name it, blogs. I just spent, September, October, November, and then this first part of December really diving deep every single night into trying to figure out, okay, what are those tips and tricks that I can do when I post on social media, on Instagram or TikTok, to increase views? Why did views drop? How do I get them back? All of these different things. And one thing that I realized is, social media is really more of a long-term play. If you're a restaurant owner or a content creator or social media manager that's listening to this, you have to understand social media is not meant to be bam, instant gratification and bam, it is a little bit, but it's not meant to be bam, instant growth for your restaurant. Don't get me wrong, there's a piece of content that you can post that can take off. I just had a piece of content for Eat Local New York, which I thought would do well when I posted it, but I didn't think that it would do that well. And it's now sitting at 360,000 views a week and a half after I posted it. And I have picked up 2,000 new followers. And actually, the restaurant that I talk about in the videos also picked up 2,000 new followers. And so there are some pieces of content that can really just work extraordinarily well for your business. You get a bunch of followers. And in this case, that pizza shop owner we've been talking ever since the video started to take off. And he's been telling me he's had customers come in. So yes, that can work, but it's not, if you're a restaurant posting for yourself, that's not the common place practice. And if you're used to posting on social media for your own restaurant, then I think you know that already. Having said that, there are some posts where you can post the special. So I'm going to go another little side avenue story. I just had a client. We just did this big party, it wasn't really a party. It was like a buy local holiday bazaar that we did at Harvey's Garden this past Saturday. It was a great event. They had their biggest day in sales for December, and it was just a really great event. Had a ton of people through Harvey's Garden on Saturday. Now, in a way to try and capture more business and get some more, word of mouth going and promotions going for Harvey's Garden, I decided to come up with a special cocktail. And so I came up with the idea for it. It's something I saw online, but I grabbed it, sent it to them. We wound up putting that cocktail on special for the day, and we sold out of them. We sold 20 of them like that, and we had put the picture up that morning. And so there are posts on social media that you can do where it is sort of like instant gratification. You put the post out, hey, it's available today only. Customers come in and buy it, and that's great. So I'm not saying that short-term results just do not exist on social media. But what I am saying is that when you're looking at long-term business growth and you're looking at long-term business growth for your restaurant in relation to social media, it is without question a long game. You're not playing the short game. And so why is this important to talk about the long game? Well, it's based on this strategy that I've developed. Now, for the last 10 years, I have not had a strategy on social media. My strategy has been, if I've had one, it has been post the best looking content that I can, whether it's a photo or a video or a graphic, post that content as best as I can every single day of the week and hope people show up. Okay, so that's been my strategy for the last 10 years. And the reason why that doesn't work as well as it did 5 years ago is because nowadays, iPhone 15s exist, and while they're not the same as these $5,000 cameras that I'm recording this podcast with, they're still really, really great, and they're better than technology a few years ago. And so for a restaurant owner, content creator, social media manager, you can kind of get great results with a brand new iPhone today and some editing apps. And so that's one reason why, just posting great content, it's not as big of a deal today because there's so many people out there creating great content with their iPhones or buying an affordable entry-level professional camera. Okay, let's call it an entry-level professional camera, but buying an entry-level digital camera nowadays and creating great content with that. So the barrier to entry to create great content is not as much as it used to be, okay? Now, you can still hire professional content creators and photographers and videographers to come in and create content for you, but it is far easier to create great content today than it ever has been. And what does that mean? Well, that means a lot of people are out there creating great content and getting it posted for the restaurant. Whether they're doing it themselves, which I have friends who are restaurant owners, they were photographers or they knew how to use a camera, so they were great content creators for themselves, for their own business. Other companies hire people like myself here at Yummy Socials or other food photographers or videographers to come in and create content for them because there are so many more content creators today than there ever have been that, again, that barrier to entry to work with a professional content creator is not as great as it used to be. It's more, I won't say it's more affordable, but you have so many more options of people to choose from for content creators. And so, if you're a restaurant owner listening or watching to this and you are not posting exceptional content, and we all know what exceptional content is. If you're not posting a great photo, a great video on your social media today, I'm going to say it, shame on you. Like, that is the smallest thing that you should be doing for your restaurant. All right, so posting great content, just throwing in a random event at your restaurant, just putting up a picture of your staff or staff member or staff team and saying, hey, meet so-and-so, that is not a strategy, okay? It's a lazy strategy. Let me put it that way. So, and I'm not saying that this is the best strategy that's ever existed, but it's something unique that I've not seen anyone do in the restaurant industry except for one restaurant that I've seen. And granted, there's a lot I haven't seen, but there's one restaurant out there that I've seen that is doing this or doing something similar. But this is the strategy I came up. So there are 3 pillars here of this strategy, and we're going to talk about each one just a little bit. So the first pillar is a success bucket. We're going to come back to it. So we have success bucket. We have, I'm going to call it the drip shot, right? The exceptional piece of content. That's a photo, that's a video. It's showing your food, it's showing your cocktails, it's showing something that you sell, that you make in your restaurant. It's that big cheese pull shot, right? It's the cross section on the sandwich or the hamburger or the sub. It's the slow pour of the cocktail. Whatever it is, it's the drip shot. It's the money shot, okay? So we've got pillar number 1, success bucket. Pillar number 2 is your money shot, your drip shot. Pillar number 3 is your culture. Now, these 3 things, so those are the 3 pillars: success bucket, drip shot, culture. My advice is that you assign different days of the month for those posts, okay? So each pillar represents a different post. So you have your success bucket post. What's a success bucket? Well, when we're talking about storytelling and things like that, it's important that you show your customer what the success bucket is. What does it look like to succeed by using their product? Now, I was thinking about, there's been some viral clips going around about marketers saying, well, Look at Red Bull. Red Bull has never once posted a picture of their product. They've never once said, go to this convenience store brand and buy our drinks. There's no great videos of their drinks. If you look at Red Bull's social media, it's all action sports and, extreme sports and things, exciting, fun, adventurous things that people are doing. And what they're doing is they're constantly showing you that success bucket. They're saying, first of all, the content's entertaining, but what they're saying underlying is, hey, if you consume Red Bull, you can do fun, amazing, exciting, adventurous stuff like these people. Now, for some brands that could work, but for restaurants, you can't just post success buckets all the time. First of all, what is the success bucket of a restaurant? Well, a success bucket is a group of friends hanging out at your restaurant, enjoying a meal together. It's a couple on their first date. It's a couple celebrating their wedding anniversary, right? It's a banquet. It's a catering package that you have somebody rented out your restaurant for, or it's a family picking up catering, or it's a family picking up takeout and enjoying it at home, or getting the food delivered. These are all success buckets. They're showing your customers in real life. We're going to get to that. Showing your customers or potential customers enjoying their time at your restaurant, enjoying your drink, your food, your convenience, whatever the case. That's what I mean when I say success bucket. The drip shot, we all know what that is, right? It's those Instagram posts that you save. It's the cheese pull. It's the great photo or video of your food. So we have that. And then culture. Well, this has to be defined. What is your culture of your business, of your restaurant? What are the values? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish with your restaurant? So if your restaurant, one of your tenants of your restaurant is, hey, we want to create a family-friendly environment where people can get wholesome, great local food that we source from local farms and producers. Great. So an example of a culture post would be talk about that, right? Maybe it's a photo of your chef or you and the farmer as they're delivering the produce or the meat or whatever the case is. Maybe it's a video of you going out to that farm to take a look at their production. Maybe it's a video of you on camera, short video, just saying like, hey, listen, my name's John, and here at John's restaurant, I want everybody to have a great time, and I want families to come together. And so those are the things that I focus on. Culture could be so many different things. Culture could be, a culture post that I did for a client recently was we had the client take their 3 dark beers that they have on draft right now. And, the owner, the brewer, went through each beer and said, and tasted the 3 and then gave his tasting notes and then ranked them. He said, if I had to drink these 3 right now, I would choose 1, 2, and 3. That's my favorite right now is this beer. And so that's an example of a culture post. Okay. Couple important things here. A success bucket post and a culture post should never sell. They should never ask your customer, your viewer, your social media follower to do anything for you. Okay. Your drip show. What do I mean by that? What I mean is a lot of posts go out and it's like, hey, here's my cheeseburger, come and get it. Here's my Tuesday special. Here's my special cocktail. You better hurry and get it. Supply is limited. All these different, so those are like selling. Those are selling posts, asking your followers or your social media viewers to do something, to come in and visit your restaurant, buy something from me, hurry, supply. You don't want to sell every time you post on social media. So your success bucket post and your culture post are not selling. In the example of the brewery with the culture post where the brewer is trying the 3 beers and ranking them, he's not saying at the end of the video, come in and try them. He's just saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, and here's my brewery, and here are the 3 dark beers we have on draft right now, and here's the tasting notes, and this is my favorite, and that's it. Goodbye. Okay. A success bucket post. It could be salesy a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of leeway, but you have a picture of a couple on their first date. And maybe it's a real life customer, or maybe it's friends that you had to come in and model for. Maybe it's loyal customers that you have that you came in to model for the post. And you say, John and Laura were here on their first date tonight. We're so lucky to have John and Laura, with us, and wish them nothing but the best. right? Hopefully that first date goes well. Or maybe it's a couple that had their first date years ago. My wife and I, we had our first date at Possibilities. So maybe a success bucket post could be, hey, from Possibilities, hey, Anthony and Rebecca had their first date here at Possibilities 6 years ago. Now they're married with a son. So great. We love hearing these stories, right? So there's so many different things that you could do for a success bucket, but you have to try to not sell. Okay. Now this is a long game. It's a long game we're playing on social media. And the things that this strategy is not a be all end all. These 3 pillars are not a be all end all for social media posting. There's a lot more to social media growth. And maybe one day we'll go through and kind of like chapters like 1 through 10 and we'll cover them in a podcast or in multiple episodes. But this is the strategy for posting. What this strategy is going to help you do is a few things. And we're going to wrap up the podcast here in just a minute. But what the strategy is going to help you do is a few things. A, it's going to help you prevent yourself from selling all the time. It's so hard to do, but you don't want to do it. You do not want to constantly sell. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it's helping show your customers, hey, this is what life could be like when you eat at my restaurant. The third thing it's doing is helping you establish a brand by showing those culture posts. It's saying, hey, this is my brand, XYZ, John's Restaurant. Okay, these are the core values of John's Restaurant, and I want you to know about them. Here's the fun things we do at John's Restaurant, and I want you to know about them. Here are the food. Here's how serious I take my food at John's Restaurant. I want you to know about it. So it helps you develop your brand. Maybe your brand is like, hey, strong family values while having fun and sourcing local ingredients. That's what your brand stands for. Great. That's what you're going to tell your customers about. Because so many restaurants today, they do not have a brand. They have a logo. They have a restaurant where people can sit. They have food. That's it. What's your brand? Oh, we're an Italian restaurant. Well, that's not your brand. Okay. So by having this culture post, it helps you develop your brand. I cannot stress enough the importance of not just posting just for the sake of posting, not just posting a great photo and saying, all right, I'm done. I posted a great photo. The importance of not selling in every single post that you make. Social media is a long game, and so you need to be prepared for that. Can you get instant success? Can you get instant sales from social media posts? Yes. I'm not saying it's not possible. I have done it thousands of times for customers. But you have to pair those short-term sales things, those short-term sales posts, with your long-term strategy of developing your brand and articulating that brand to your customers and potential customers. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, and we're going to talk about it a lot more in future episodes. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, reach out to me here, yummysocials.com. Email me, Anthony at eatlocalnewyork.com. I'd love to work with you.